Namaste and hello, welcome. I welcome you with all of my heart, and I really do. I wanted just to take these few minutes and thank you for being there and for turning me on and coming to class every time that we are on the air. It's one of my worst nightmares is that no one will watch, and yet you do, and you are there. And knowing that you're there through a letter has always meant a great deal to me. I do encourage you to write me. I read everything. I'm not able to handwrite you back necessarily, but I have a free newsletter that you can just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and it has a calendar of events of where I do workshops and some of the summer programs that I have, and perhaps I'll even come to your town. You know that your local station really tallies all the letters that come in, tallies the phone calls when you call and sort of say, gosh, why isn't my yoga class on the air? So know that public broadcasting is listening and it's your station. So do let them know. And again, from my heart, thank you for writing. And if you haven't done it already, perhaps you will after this class. Thank you. Well, I'm going to start by standing up today. I think I have a very interesting class planned for you, and we'll get up very cleverly. If this is your first time watching this time, wonderful. Almost everything we're going to do today, I'm sure you'll be able to do. And I do have my blanket ready because I'd like to do a half candle pose. I'll talk more about that in a few moments. So come on up, but we're going to be very clever. Let's come on to the knees first. And sitting comfortably on the heels of your feet, put a pillow underneath your ankles if it's uncomfortable, if you're a little bit stiff, and stretch with one side, and stretch and reach with the other. And stretch one side, and stretch and reach the other. Do position yourself so that you're not twisting your neck. All right, come up to a standing position. Let's turn your toes under for a moment. Let the toes stretch out. And then straightening the legs just a little bit. Keep the knees slightly bent. Walk in, walk in, walk in, and put your hands on your ankles. Let your head hang for a moment. And just stretching the feet out. Lift one heel and the other. Notice that my hands are in front of me. And this is a little bit easier if you bring your hands in front of you. You could even put them on a chair if you're stiff. You're breathing, you're not holding your breath, and we're just warming the toes up and warming the feet up just a little bit. The calf muscles. All right, putting the hands on your ankles and just travel up your shin bone. Over the knees, my back is rounded, and I do this because it's good for your back to keep the back just slightly rounded in the beginning, the knees slightly bent, then come up slowly, slowly. You're breathing, no dizziness, into Tadasana. Right now, I'm going to walk this time over to my wooden floor, and if you have a wooden floor, rejoice, rejoice, because really doing some postures on a wooden floor are wonderful. Some postures on a good mat that supports you, and then some will definitely need some support. We're going to start with an exercise that is a little bit more dynamic. It's the wood chopper pose. The feet are comfortably apart, I'd say about 3 feet apart. Raise the hands above your head, and we're going to stretch the day. Let's stretch one side again and then the other side. Continue to breathing. Now, let me just show you. My knees are bent. This is your first time. It's an exhale through the mouth. The mouth makes a 0 or an O as I come forward. Good, strong exhalation. My knees are bent to protect my back. Then the in-breath as I come up. All right, do it with me. Of course, any dizziness, stop and take a breath. All right, breathe in, tightening the seat just a little bit, and now relax and exhale. Bring the hammer through the legs. All right, and then come up. Breath in. Exhale. Knees bent, back is stretching. Inhale slowly up, and exhale down. A little bit more dynamic movement to start the blood circulating, exhaling and inhaling up. Let's do one more time. Exhaling and inhaling up. Use your feet, use your thighs, stretching up, and then let the out breath lower your arms down. Now, a racing dive is to get the feeling that you have a long back, and this is something, a piece of our puzzle that I use in yoga a lot, the words long back. It's just the natural curves of the spine, and just put your hands on your knees, and your torso is about parallel to the floor. And we're going to stretch the arms back. This opens the chest, and it naturally just keeps those natural curves of the spine. And if you have the picture in your mind of a racing dive, it's easier, especially since I can't see you. All right, now let's keep the knees quite bent, long neck, and let's do an in-breath, up. Exhaling back into the racing dive. Your torso is parallel to the floor. And do keep your neck soft. Inhale up. Exhale, stretch the arms back. Inhaling up, good, and exhaling, stretching the arms back. This opens the chest and the back muscles. And again, breath in, exhale out. Now you can do the breath here also, and then come back up to center again. That's about 12 o'clock, and exhaling down. All right, let's just shake the knees out, shaking the arms and arms. How about a sound? Oh, good sigh out, come on, out, and then stand up. Listen, a sigh or a sound like that is a very legitimate breath. It gets you to exhale, and exhaling is wonderful. It keeps you from holding the breath, which isn't so wonderful. All right, now standing tortoise. Standing tortoise is, again, a little bit more dynamic movement, brings blood to the hip sockets and strengthens the thighs. And just put your hands on your knees again. And just continue this small movement as I'm talking. Because if your back is tender, keep your hands on your knees. This supports the back. All right, let's stretch now. One arm stretched out in front of you, keeping the long back. And you're not squatting down beneath your knees. No, this is very comfortable for the knees. And then stretch out the other side. Did you know that when you stretch your arms out like this, that you're putting quite a lot of pressure on your spine? So you really do need to be careful. And now, if you are more experienced, only if you're more experienced, put both arms out. Otherwise, repeat with just one arm. Both arms puts more than 15 pounds, you see, of pressure on your spinal column as you go up and down. And it really helps to strengthen those back muscles. All right, let's come up on an in-breath. Breath in, energy in, and exhaling out. Now the standing tortoise is the following. Just watch here. I'm going to bring my hands between my legs. I'm going to bend my knees and turn my toes outward slightly. And then I'm going to wrap my arms around the legs and then hold on to the instep. Now if you're here, that's fine, or if you just want to put the hands to the instep, and then I lift the sit bones and lower. And I do not squat beneath the knees. And I lift and lower. All right, I'm going to come up for a second, and if you were just watching, try it with me again. Arms between the knees. Bend the knees, toes are out, hand over the instep, and then lift and lower, and lift. This can be quite intense, especially if you do it 10 times. And if you're practicing this at home, just do one more time than you think you can. All right, that's only about 5 times, straightening the legs for a moment. Hands in front of you, bring the feet in, hands to your ankles again, and then just come up the shin bone, the knees, your thighs, back to center again. How did you do? Good. It's a fun one. I love giving that to my classes. Now, let's take a break here and just do a little bit of a sniffing breath. And that sniffing breath gives you energy. And what this is you're stepping your breath in, and then you'll exhale the air out. You breathe, you exhale and inhale through the nose. And it's just like this. And pause, exhale out through nose. And again, sniff breath in. Pause, exhale out, slowly, slowly. Try one more time. Try to get 8 steps in. Pause. Exhale out. It's wonderful to do at stoplights. No one knows. You'll energize yourself. Good. All right. Now, let's continue now with triangle pose. It's really very traditional yoga posture with the feet slightly apart. Now, it's not slightly apart. It's a good 3.5 feet apart. Be sure that you're looking at your feet. I can't see them, so it must be good 3.5 feet apart. And you're going to turn your left foot in slightly. Look down at your right foot, lift the toes up, and turn those toes 90-degree angle to your wall. All right, now stretch the arms out to the side, out to your side. Trikonasana, triangle. You have an imaginary wall behind your back, and you're going to glide to your right. Good, gliding to the right. Then you bring the right hand down onto the calf muscle, palm facing me, or palm facing forward, and then slowly lift the left arm up. You turn chin to collarbone, and you look up to the thumb of your hand, your left hand. Breathe in, lift. Try to relax your toes. Remember the wall behind your back. And then come up to a standing position. And then feet forward, lowering the hands down. You notice now I've held, but even in holding, there's always movement in holds. There's always movement in nature. So we'll hold the opposite side. All right, we're going to turn now the right foot in slightly to the center of your body. Look down at your left foot and lift it up so it's 90 degrees and towards your opposite wall. Turn again. I hope you're facing me. And your arms are stretched out to the sides. Imaginary wall behind you for triangle to the left. Glide. Don't dip your arms down quite so soon. Glide to the left. Try to keep this quadricep pulled up and not straining in the back of your knee. That's important. Listen to your body. And then dropping the left arm down. Right hand up to the ceiling. And stretch up. All right, keep breathing. And then come back to your center position, toes facing forward, arms down. Now let's do a triangle twist. We haven't done one of these poses in a long time, so we'll do this to the right. Your left foot goes in slightly, right foot to 90-degree angle, and you're going to turn now your torso so it's over the right knee. Remember, and this is important, don't press too much weight in the back of your knee. That's hyperextending it, and you must be careful of it. I know I am, by pulling the quadricep up and not pressing the pressure in the back of the knee. Now, elbow, left elbow bent. Put your left hand on your shoulder. And stretch that left arm, that left elbow to the wall in front of you. Stretch it. And then reach down with your left hand close to your right foot. My right hand is on the small of my back. Now the scissor action goes on in the inner thighs. You scissor the inner thighs together as your shoulder turns to the right. You look up to the ceiling, root the back foot, and now stretch the right arm up to the ceiling. I'm looking at the thumb of the right hand. Breathe in. And then release. Both hands to the floor, ease up on the knee if you wish to, put a little weight on that quadricep, and then come up to standing position. Now both feet forward. Now let's do that triangle twist to the opposite side. Right foot in slightly. Are you 3.5 feet? Be sure. Right foot in slightly, left foot 90 degrees, and turn so that you're over your left knee. Let your eyes be your teacher, your eyes looking at your body. Now, right hand to the right shoulder. And my left hand goes into the small of the back. Ease the front knee as you come forward. If it gets too much tension in the back of your thighs, stretch the elbow forward. Forward, and then release it. And the scissor action is between the thighs. Try to bring the inner thighs together. Then your hips, your shoulder turns, and you look up to the ceiling. You're breathing as you lift your left hand up. Breathing, lift the thumb up, and then release, placing both hands to the floor, and then pushing down on the foot, come up to a standing position. And both feet forward. All right, let's bring your heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. And we're going to go back to the mat or wherever you are. And let's rest for a moment in your frog pose. Toes touching, knees wide apart. Go slowly. And slowly come down, just bringing your chest to the floor. And then you bring your cheek to the floor. And open the knees enough so that you can feel a very strong stretch in the inner thighs. And just rest for a moment. Breathing in. And exhale, sink. Breathing in. Really relax your face. 10-second vacation. Breath in. Good sigh out. Oh. All right, and then place your hands on your floor and come up. Bring the knees together and let's sit up. Now I'm going to use your blanket. I hope you are going to use your blanket. And I have a good wool blanket, and I know not every home has a good wool blanket, but you've got something. Even a good firm towel, beach towel, couple of them. Fold them so they're not an accordion, please. Please notice how I have folded my towel. It's so important for anything on the upper neck to have a good support for your upper neck. It's good foundation. So, folding, lying down, and I put my hands back immediately, and I feel 2 inches above my shoulders, because when you come up into shoulder stand, your shoulders will start to move backwards or forwards. But you do need that support for this upper cervical vertebra of your neck. It's about the 7th cervical vertebra, approximately where you can see where my fingers are. That's where I really, really need the support. All right, everybody ready? And if you've not done this before, please watch, sit up and watch, but do not twist your neck. Going to first start with a bridge pose with your feet on the floor. Close to the buttock muscles, arms alongside of your body. And you get lots of space between your ear and your shoulder. Pressing down and rolling the hips up. Rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. And then rolling back down. As I do this, I take very good care that I am not pressing into my lower back. All right, drop the hips a little bit, clasp your hands together, straighten your elbows, and then walk your shoulders in to open the chest. Take a good breath in. Oh, and then relax hands and come down slowly. Now we're going to go into a half candle. Everything is ready, everything is prepared with my neck. Press down firmly on both arms and exhaling, lift the hips up, cupping hands beneath the hips. Fingertips point to your heels and try to rotate the shoulders in towards your spine. Feel the weight evenly distributed on upper arms and shoulders. Plenty of space between the breastbone and the chin. And we'll hold for a few more breaths. Now to relax the back, draw both knees into chest or do single leg pumps 3 to 6 times when practicing on your own. Return to the half candle, hips heavy in the palms of your hands. Fluids drain from the legs. The heart rests. Eyes soft. And then flowing right into the pose of tranquility, shift the weight off the elbows and onto the shoulders. Balance on the shoulders and place the hands on the knees. Arms are straight, long back. Freedom in the upper neck. And hold for 3 or 4 breaths. And if you lose your balance, just try again. And then to release the pose and come down, bend the knees in towards the face or straighten the legs, toes to the floor. Raise the arms above the head or arms alongside of you on the mat and come down very, very slowly, in control, to the count of 10. 1 and 2. Stretch the arms back. 3 and 4. Feel the ribs separate from the waist. 6, 7. Try not to collapse. Good. Hips to the floor, knees into the chest, and just rest and enjoy the moment. Oh, and just rest for a moment with knees into chest, because it's very normal to have a slight contraction in the lower back muscles after you've been doing a half candle pose, because those big back muscles have been holding you up and steadying also your abdominal area. Now, a nice counter pose after the inversion postures you've just done is your fish pose. It opens up the thyroid area. It's a nice counter pose. Straighten the legs out and slip the hands underneath your hips. Notice that my fingertips are pointing down towards the heels of my feet, and try to wedge your arms in as close as they can be at this moment, and then press down onto your elbows, arch your spine. Don't drop your head back yet, and be very careful when you do let the head go back that it's very, very little weight in the top of the head. The upper neck's very comfortable. Breathe in. And exhale out. Not a good posture to talk in. Teachers have to be careful of that because your vocal cords are very stretched. Let's try that one more time. All right, we're going to come up into Matsyasana, your fish pose, onto the elbows. Arch the spine. Now be very free with the neck, not turning or looking at me, dropping the head back comfortably, just very light in the top of the head. Take a breath in. Good breath in, and then come out, remove the hands, and just draw the knees into your chest again, and a little rocking side to side. This little rocking just massages the sacral muscles, relaxes them, feels good. And now just roll over onto your side, and put the top hand to the floor, and come up to a seated position. And I'd like to share some thoughts with you about alternate nostril breathing. Any given moment during your day, you can count on seeing with both eyes and hearing with both ears, and yet you breathe through only one nostril. This one nostril dominance can last from 1 to 3 hours, and it reverses itself in a matter of minutes. Yogis of old discovered this subtle nasal cycle, and with intuitive investigation, learned its secrets. Scientists of today feel that the nasal cycle offers a window into the brain. Alternate nostril breathing is said to balance the hemispheres of the brain. Left brain is linear thinking, right brain abstract, aesthetic skills. Right nostril dominance goes to the left brain activity, and left nostril dominance into the right brain activity. And by forcing a switch with alternate nostril breathing, you can safely and naturally stimulate the less active hemisphere. Master teachers felt that you could temporarily relieve depression, induce sleep, and become immediately centered. Think of the possibilities in your own life. This breathing is safe, yet it is not recommended if you are epileptic. And if this is the case, you practice complete breath, and we will proceed with alternate nostril breathing. Sit with the spine straight, neck very comfortable, eyes are closed. Left hand is in your lap, and place the right thumb over your right nostril, and it will cover the end of the right nostril. Start by exhaling out your left nostril completely, out and out and out. And now inhale through the left nostril all the way up to the top of your breath comfortably. And now remove the thumb and close left nostril with your right ring finger. And now exhale out the right nostril, out and out and out, slowly out. Now inhale through the right and lightly close, Exhale out the left. Completely out. Slowly, your rhythm, not at mine. Inhale left. Close. Exhaling right. Slowly out. Inhale right. Close and then open left, exhaling out. Inhale left. Lightly close. Exhale out right. Continue to breathe. It is your rhythm, not at mine. Neck is very relaxed. There is a pause between the breaths and not a hold. The breath is smooth and silky. Continue. And now finish this alternate nostril breathing by exhaling out completely through the left nostril. And then place your hands in your lap. The eyes are closed. The neck is long and relaxed. And go inward. Feel the breath coming and going. No anticipation. The breath breathes you. Go beneath your breath into your own stillness. The breath arises out of silence, unfolds in stillness, and disappears into the silence once again. Thank you, and namaste.